Correct. I am now about to launch Gideon, America's first ever AI threat detection platform built specifically for law enforcement. It scrapes the internet 24/7 using an Israeli-grade ontology to pull specific threat language and then routes it to local law enforcement. It's a 24/7 detective. It never sleeps, and it's going to get us in front of these attacks.
Would it have picked up on this, do you think?
100%. I wish my program would already be up. We're not launching until next week. I've got a dozen agencies on board, Trace. I just unloaded a major Northeast agency with over 2,700 sworn. This is America's early warning system.
Well, there you go, guys. You heard it from the horse's mouth. Gideon is the name of this new AI program that he's calling Threat Detection 24/7. You'll have an internet detective scraping the internet, doesn't need sleep, doesn't need food, obviously. Just constantly scraping the internet for anything it might consider a threat. Well, a threat to who? They're selling it as a threat to children on how they could have gotten in front of this latest incident in Minneapolis, this latest PSYOP, I guess we should say. It's always the same thing, and there's always a manifesto. It's just constantly repeating itself. They can't come up with anything new, so they just keep. And of course, anytime there's children involved, that generates the most emotion. And that's the goal here. But Gideon is the sentry for the Pre-Crime Division's Department of Containment from the movie Minority Report. Gideon is confined to a wheelchair, although the reason for this is unknown. Did you know that Gideon, the Israeli AI predictive policing that was announced a day after the Minneapolis shooting PSYOP as a character in the film Minority Report? He was the warden in charge of watching over prisoners forced into halo sleep. Well, now you know. They always tell us what they're doing, what they're going to do in these movies, guys. And that was back in, what, 2002 or so? You see how long they've had these things planned out? You know, I'm sure long before that as well. And then we have this from Melania Trump to pull on everyone's heartstrings. The tragic mass killing in Minnesota illuminates the need for preemptive intervention in identifying potential school shooters. Early warning signs are often evident, with many individuals exhibiting concerning behaviors and making violent threats online prior to their actions. To prevent future tragedies, it's crucial we look into behavioral threat assessments across all levels of society, beginning in our homes, extending through school districts, and of course, social media platforms. Being aware of these warning signs and acting quickly can save lives and make American communities safer. Once again, selling you on children, protecting the children and selling you on safety. Well, anyone that sacrifices liberty for safety deserves neither, right? As the saying goes. That says here, after yesterday's school shooting in Minneapolis, Melania Trump covertly advocates for Palantir's pre-crime detection surveillance software, Gotham. So there's another one for you. Not just Gideon that we have to deal with, there's Gotham as well. We talked about this here, I think, last week. The tragic mass killing in Minnesota illuminates the need for preemptive intervention in identifying potential school shooters. Early warning signs are often evident. To prevent future tragedies, it's crucial we look into behavioral threat assessment across all levels of society, beginning in our homes. So they don't want to spy on everything that you do, in the interest of safety, of course. If you don't have anything to hide, right? Give me a break. It's none of their business what I do in privacy in my own home. As long as I'm not harming anybody else, it's none of their business. But anyway, they're going to make it their business because they think we're all a threat now. This is putting us all in the same mix. Potential threat. To who? To them and to their structure, their power. They want us all under their thumb. And they want to do it through all of this surveillance software, AIs. So they can process it super quickly and get on these threats right away. So gee whiz, it's like clockwork, and almost if they're following a script and a planned narrative that will further push any type of gun control in the future, along with the help of pre-crime AI surveillance tools. Remember during Trump's first term, there were many mass shootings in 2017 and 18, especially the Las Vegas Music Festival, to which we still don't have all the answers to. No, and we probably never will. And of course, here's the school shooter video I just showed you. And this Israeli-grade AI pre-crime bot launches next week, scraping the internet 24/7 for specific threat language. Well, who's programming it and what language are they putting into it? What are they scraping for this week? What are they scraping for today, tomorrow, the next day? They can change, right? They can just change the programming and say, well, now we want you to look for any type of anti-Semitism as well. And we're going to go ahead and arrest those people because they might do something anti-Semitic in the future. And of course, if you're not down with their narrative about Israel and Gaza, then of course, you could be a threat to yourself and to others potentially. And they can take this any direction they want to, is my point. But don't say the wrong thing because the AI will always be watching you now. Problem, reaction, solution. And you can bet your bottom dollar this AI internet scraper won't just be looking for threats against children. They'll also be looking for anyone that might be anti-Semitic, like I just said. If that's you, you'll be considered a threat, and I would expect a law enforcement visit to your door. Just checking on you, making sure that, everything's okay and that you're not, thinking about harming others or, by the way, how many guns you got in there? It could go something like that, just saying. Wow. And then what about something else I wrote down here? What about retroactively? How far back are they going to scrape? What if you said something 10 years ago that you've changed your mind about and you don't agree with today? But they come back to you and say, well, that's kind of threatening, those language that's used, 10, 15 years ago on Facebook or Twitter, wherever you left that post. Well, that blog you wrote back in 2007, what do you mean by that? I'm just saying, this can go any direction they want to now that these things are being deployed. So prayed up and prepped up at all times, guys. Time is getting short indeed. Wow. Well, that'll be all for this segment. So thank you for all your prayers, well wishes, and so on here the last couple of days. I've been under the weather yesterday in particular. My guts were acting up just crazy like, and it was pretty much relentless for almost for 24 hours. So, wow, don't want to do that again. But anyway, that'll teach me to take my enzymes every morning because I neglected to yesterday. That was part of the issue. But thank you for all your well wishes and prayers. Sincerely appreciate that. And they're always needed because the spiritual war never sleeps either. And don't forget, don'tspeaknews.com is home base for all that we do. This is where I put stories that we can't speak about anywhere else. There's over 2,700 on here now. And as you can see, if you want to subscribe, when you're on an article here, this little pop-up box will come up just once, though, once per article that you read, to make it easy for you if you'd like to subscribe to the website. And if you do so, you type in your email here, click on subscribe, and you're in. That way, anytime I put up a new posting, you'll be notified. But if you don't want to, that's fine. You can just bookmark the site, check on it every so often. And this is where I always put the links to whatever I use in the videos. However, today, most of them are on Telegram, so you can find them on my Telegram account. And we are doing a fundraiser from August into September. And so I thank everyone who's contributed so far. We're about 30% towards our goal. This doesn't reflect that because some of the donations came outside of this box. But I will put this link up if you'd like to participate. And if not, please just give us your fervent prayers. They are always needed and sincerely appreciated. And that will be it for now. God bless, take care. Johnny Storm, Don't Speak News.